they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street, they hawk. Still them talk, say, make we no talk. But thank God, say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. And people make you shout. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining me from. This is Mayegun Live.
Àṣírí àjẹlù kì í kó níbẹ̀.
Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are joining from. It is Mayegun Live. But please, read the caption of this broadcast, the description. If you're watching me live, read the description as well. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them that Mayegun today, that's all you have to do. While we were all kind of distracted by the happenings inside the Nigeria, a group of Yoruba nation agitators declared Democratic Republic of the Yorubas, and they called it DRY, D-R-Y, tonight. Another part of our report tonight is that of the killings of a pregnant woman in Enugu by a suspected repentant terrorists. In Plateau State, 11 people were slaughtered today by the terrorists. So today, now good morning to you once again, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining me or watching from. So it is Mayegun Live. So we are starting tonight from the not so shocking news of the invasion of Oyo State House of Assembly in Ibadan yesterday. So a lot of us were wondering, what was the motivation? Where did this sort of start from? Who are those behind this? I did say something nice about the news yesterday because I didn't have all the details. I still don't have all of the details, but I do have more. than what I had yesterday. And it is all leading back to the same warning that I gave 3 years ago. In fact, was it up to 3? No, it should be about 2.5 years ago. And that is to remind all of us who care to, to listen at the time, that self-determination or self-rule or an independent campaign, they are legitimate campaigns that should attract the most intelligent and the most patriotic Yorubas to team up, including all the groups, in Yorubaland today. Before now, we have so many groups. Since they born me, there are so many groups. Some of them extinct, some are still existing, and more are being created. All sort of, lays around Yoruba this, Yoruba that, and most of them actually do promote the Yoruba independence until lately, where you can begin to identify with you, right? But I said, you see, with no real central or centralization of this kind of a campaign, it is bound to be, rubbished. I won't say hijacked, because at present there is absolute no power on so many of these groups, reach to hijack any struggle that has to do with Yoruba's agenda. Many people have used Yoruba agenda to enrich themselves politically in Nigeria and otherwise. And there are others who are also kind of building their own profile around same. And I raised an alarm 2.5 years ago. I said, when people said they will make declaration of Yoruba nation, and we look at the characters of people who are making this regular online boast and threats, and I said, those who are going to stay where they live and in their supposed mind, right, all it's going to take is just to make an announcement and say, yeah, we are declaring this country and that is it. Then Ilana Yoruba, Ilana Odua, the group that got enmeshed in different kind of scandal, especially from towards the end of 2022, 2023, and here we are now. The embarrassment has now sort of grown, bolder, to the point that yesterday, when some young people who went to the Oyo State House of Assembly, that they wanted to go and take over the government there, they were not just acting like from, they were actually motivated, funded, and mobilized by a group of Yoruba nation agitators, okay? Her name is Modupe. Modupe Onitiri, one of the wives of MKO Abiola. In fact, she is described as not a wife per se, but just one of the women that give MKO Abiola children. And she's been riding on that card for a very long time. Abiola's wife. And I think that's how they met with the Ilana Odua, Babakintoye, and the rest of them. And it didn't take long. Listen to this. It didn't take long because she actually has a team. Now, if anybody think she doesn't really have people that she does kind of motivating to whatever violence that she promotes or whatever, right? Then you will be wrong. Here is what happened. The people handling Ilana, they were almost, or should I say, totally lost on what to do next when people were asking them, when is Yoruba nation going to come? They were lying to people, arrogating the power, the kind of power, imaginary powers that they do not have. And most of them are doing so from a very far distance away from Nigeria. And a lot of us continue to kind of educate the people that listen. If you want an independent country out of an existing country, it simply means you would have to actually build the resource capital to pursue such agenda. And if you don't have such resources, there is no point in arrogating the kind of power that you don't have. You can't declare any country. You can't. But there are those who believe, yes, we will. And I didn't know it has gone so far. The delusion has gone so deep. But when they brought her into this, their Ilano stuff, right? A long story, but I don't want to bore you with that. So they brought her into it. And the guys in charge of Ilano, they were lost. We were asking them, what's the plan? Any kind of real plan in place that we can look into and indeed demobilize towards? They had nothing. It was pure cash and carry sort of campaign until it became serious. But it didn't take much time. Then this lady, this woman came in, Iyawo Abiola, Mama Onitiri, and boom, she just gave everybody a date that she was going to declare Yoruba nation. And that's it. And there were those, they were like, yes, mommy, yes, ma, yes, ma, thank you, ma. There were even some deluded idiots who come onto my platform asking me to reach out to her and we can work together and continue the delusion. Somebody who has no tiny any means of influence to influence anything other than to sink to the gullible idiots who are readily available to be manipulated. Read the comment. They are here. They are coming here soon. Okay? Because you won't believe this. They were actually as educated as Yorubas are claimed to be, exposed as we are. I mean, there are those who believe that right now, Yoruba nation is independent. In fact, there is an acting president. This is how much the Delulu has traveled and how deep it has become. So she declared she was going to declare a date of independence. By October 2022, I'm going to declare we are going to take over the airports. We're going to take over the borders. And some of them came here that instead of people like us to support her in a madness, right? Support her and delude ourselves enough like they are doing. And because we were like, you're mad, are you that daft? Like, could somebody actually really take advantage of you enough that you are so deluded that you just wanted to believe it and you wanted it to be exactly what you think it is? Well, anyway, without having going to, so I came out then I said, well, if you want to, for the sake of those who are intelligent enough to listen, all right? Because some of you may not even know that there is actually a strong scam behind the Yoruba Nation and the Yoruba Nation campaign that we have personally discovered. And they are actually in the open too. But the problem is that majority of the perpetrators, they double down most of the time. Or they blame you why it is not happening. So this woman said she was going to declare Yoruba Nation in October 2022. And she did. Then, no, she didn't. Then she said, oh, we will do it in December. She couldn't. That was the moment she started, sort of the first phase of exposing our level of illiteracy. I couldn't even imagine, except somebody is actually a real scammer, a poor one at that. It is either she has mental problems or she's a stark illiterate that is actually really showing up now. To have a country, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing first is to take over or influence the political power of that your region. And I've said this many times. Except you do that, because, without that, there will be no place that you can call a sanctuary state for the Yoruba sovereign nation campaigners. There must be a sanctuary state, and that power comes from where you can feel safe, where you say, oh, I am supporting Yoruba nation. In your state, let me use that as an example. If the Yoruba nation advocates. And the reason why it is so kind of complex right now is because the genuine patriots will not waste their time in participating in the current political settings or whatever structure they have in Nigeria now in order to push the pro-Yoruba nation, what do you call it, politicians and that to push them to power. That's the first phase. So, because the first phase starts from you actually feeling safe in Yorubaland. With the way Nigeria is structured, those who are against Yoruba nation, they are no other people than the Yorubas themselves. And I'm not saying all Yorubas, I'm talking about the criminal Yorubas who are benefiting from the rot right now. They are the first stop. They are the first people that will do everything to crush anything that has to do with Yoruba nation. What do? You remove them. Take away that power from them. Until that happens, the deluded, you see all these deluded wearies on social media who are pushing our people into the hands of those who are looking for excuses or reasons to justify the killings of Yorubas in Nigeria. They will continue. So, I did not hear anything again since December 2022. Like a lot of people now discover that he's a pure trash who is only out to bring further disrepute, disgrace, and undermine a legitimate advocacy that, you see why all of you who are actually really genuinely in your heart would love to see a prosperous, independent Yoruba nation out of this place. You are keeping quiet. And charlatans like this are those people, when they talk about Yoruba nation, they look at all these charlatans. Oh, this one's talking about, well, they are not serious, Joe. This one's. Because those of you who knows the value of this, who knows the validity and legitimacy of this, a lot of you are too scared to even come out and say it. And then she was everywhere. She was asking for money. They needed that more tank. She lives in America. I think I've been told she's not in Nigeria like myself. And I have told you, you see, any advocacy, listen to this one, any campaign for Yoruba, what happened to my, give me a sec. I think I have an issue with my other microphone. I don't want that to be a problem, right? Like I do not want to, be too quiet or too low when I'm actually like speaking out like that, right? So, where was I? So I kind of felt like I never heard from them again. And it seems everybody just kind of, at that moment, everybody kind of like take a backseat. But it all started from when she was introduced as she's part of the Ilano and all of that. Then she chanked them, right? She said they were doing, they were voting online and they were collecting signatures. Okay, signatures of people who are interested. It's like a petition. Okay, they call it a petition. Everybody should go there and sign. Baba, I put over 80 pounds of my money because I thought that's a very good experiment. In fact, it was a smart one to actually see those who are willingly are going to go there and sign the petition for I support this. And these guys said they were going to get 1 million signatures. And that was what they were all out for. I promoted it on this platform because I wanted to see how many Yorubas all over the world that will actually tap into this, right? About everybody got to 20,000 or be 25,000. The next thing, they just removed the counter. Why did you remove the counter? The counting there is what we tell us every day, like progress. Oh, some people are watching us. Nigeria is coming. Nigeria is shaking. Since, the next thing, this idiot, almost every day. Oh, it is now 2 million. It is now 5 million. Oh, it is now 10 million people signed, and it's absolute trash, right? And when we ask, why would you do that? That seems something that you should make open. No, the Nigeria government is shaking. Nigeria government is coming after them. Then the next thing, they say, oh, the signature is complete. Can we see it? No, we cannot show you, but it's complete now. We are going to declare Yoruba nation. Now, when they couldn't do that, or that by December, this woman started asking money for for weapons. She said the reason why she hasn't declared is because Nigeria will react when they declare. And if Nigeria is going to react, they must be ready. It was part of, there are those people who were selling that lie too. They wrote to United Nations. They wrote to this, they wrote to, all those nonsense. They were all kind of lies, okay, that finally expired. I wasn't expecting this, right? But you know why I am kind of right now feeling like a lot of you need to understand the level of damages that these charlatans like this bring upon a noble cause, simply because a lot of you who are supposed to be part of it, you are staying aloof, you are staying away, and you probably not strong-minded enough to see it as your cause. And now, when people want to talk now, the image you will see out there about Yoruba nation now is going to be the image of those misled young boys and girls. I told you. Now, if the diplomatic part of trying to take power that way is not going to work, then you can go the Hamas way. The Hamas way means you will need a lot of money, a lot of training, resources for the people. And when you want to now say, we are taking over the government of Western Nigeria, you would have, it's like a coup. You will have all of the resources you need. For example, all of the governors in Southwest, you are going to arrest them. Yeah, put them in house arrest. Show to them that they are no longer in control. And you need a force to actually do that. They said this woman, when they asked them, said they needed to contribute money. The money here, that money is not enough. That money can, all the money we raise now is just $3,000. That money cannot buy a armor personnel carrier. We need to buy fighter jets. We need to buy guns. We need to train people. We need like that. Or more people were giving them money. They were doing programs like this, telling people. So now 2 days ago, I didn't see it coming. I swear I didn't. I thought these guys are fizzled out. And somehow we can actually give a real face to this legitimate advocacy. Anybody who tells you, so if we are going to go into a guerrilla warfare kind, you must have the resources, see? And anybody who is encouraging it, it must be in Yorubaland. I have told you, when they say referendum, right? Referendum is election, campaign, like you are doing your APC, PDP campaign. Exactly. You will see people campaigning against it. And I told you, you see, if a system, if the push come to that level that, okay, they find out, so let's have a referendum. People like us will not be a referendumist from abroad. We will be on ground. Because that's what it means. Right? Same thing, if anybody encourages you that we need to fight, all this in our story, we cannot get this Yoruba nation without fighting, and they are living abroad, and you are living in Nigeria and you believe them. Somebody who is like I am now. I am safe, I am comfortable, and I am somehow far away from any danger that Nigeria represents. But the moment I say, we need to be this, we need to be that, once I actually carry that to my face, or I am part of those who feel that way, the ideal thing is for me to be in that place. We have to be there together. So that when they are arresting people, they will arrest all of us. When they are shooting people, they will shoot all of us. Kind of. That's how it should be. But somebody said, I'm just going to declare. And they actually did. And people were congratulating them. So, congratulations. Dupe o, Atibori o. We are now free. Mama wa Onitiri eshe o. Eshe tegba wale o. What kind of delulu is this? I thought we are Yorubas. Happy Google bragging of being educated, most educated.